Dubai Muscle Show, a place where you can go and grow. It's the Dubai Muscle Show. So,
Wow.
Nick, how do you feel about that for being the next
Love it.
jingle for the Dubai Muscle Show?
New jingle. Sounds good.
Works, right?
Yeah.
So, as people know, or people will know, that you're the co-founder and owner of the Dubai Muscle Show,
Yeah.
which is a huge, huge event here in Dubai. And what a lot of people don't know is how you came up with the idea of the Muscle Show. So I'm going to give them an idea and let them know how it initially started. So myself and Nick used to train in a gym. I'm not going to say the name. They don't pay me anything. And so the first time I met Nick, he was training in the gym, and then I came into the gym. And then as I stepped into the door, if you remember, everyone went crazy and they went,
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, thanks guys, whatever. And then I, got changed, walked back onto the gym floor, and it was all quiet, like, like as you're just about to take the penalty. And then I did my first rep, and the gym just exploded again. They were like, and then I remember looking over at you and seeing like a light bulb moment. And I can imagine you were thinking,
yeah,
there must be a way for me to get a place where everybody can come and see this guy. Is that how it happened, or?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, mate. In a nutshell, yeah.
Yeah. How did it really happen? What kind of made you think, okay, this is needed out here, and talk to me about the process of it all.
So, I mean, you grew up in the UK, right? And saw some of the shows over there. I mean, as a kid growing up in the UK, I went to a show called Body Power in Birmingham. Yeah. So I must have gone to that when I was about 18, 19, really into the gym. When you just get started, you've got the bug for it. And
you do 1-2 reps, you see a muscle, and you're like, okay, this is my career now.
Yeah, I mean, I was, buying Flex magazine, and like I was just astounded by like some of the physiques. And so I went along to this show and queued up for hours to meet Jay Cutler, and got loads of free samples of protein. And then fast forward maybe 5-6 years later, I'm in Dubai and working in events. Okay. And it just kind of dawned on me. I was thinking, where can I go to an equivalent of this show here in Dubai? And I was Googling whilst I was at my old company, because I really wanted to go and get some cool samples and learn about the industry and meet some of these cool guys. And it was just mad. Like there was nothing
at all, right?
Which is so rare in a place like Dubai, where if you name an industry to me right now, like Windows, there'll be a Windows expert at the trade center. So it was mad that there was nothing.
But also on the other side, what I find with Dubai is kind of like the American dream, in a sense, where there's so much space to do stuff. Like if you come here with a mind that, and you can see something that's missing, you can just hit the ground running and literally take over the whole industry, as you did.
So we were pretty lucky in terms of the timing and the fact there was nothing else there. And just the passion for bodybuilding, especially with like the local guys, was huge. So I was working at what is the biggest exhibition company in the world, a company called Informa.
Okay.
They run like Arab Health and a few other big shows like that.
Is their jingle the old song from Snow? Informa, Like they didn't have "I Make Your Bum Bum Down" on their business cards.
One of the GMs sang that at the Christmas party.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah.
That works.
But I was working with a good mate of mine, Craig, who I think you've met. He's the co-founder of the show, and kind of said, "Look, man, there's nothing going on in the whole bodybuilding and fitness space. Like, let's give it a go." And he was like immediately up for it. And basically I took had enough money saved for 3 months of giving it a go. And my plan was, if it doesn't work, then I'll just go and get another job. That was pretty cool. I appreciate not everyone's got that.
That kind of drive or risk factor.
Or even the savings to just start. To be able to quit and start it up. So gave it a go, and within the first month we'd signed up a couple of brands.
Once you had decided to do it, and you were like, okay, you do it, and then you started doing it, was there ever a point where it kind of hit you and you were like, oh wait, we're actually trying to do something huge here that might backfire completely?
I think as well, you like you said, you've got the Dubai factor, and if you launch an event in any other market, people would kind of expect it to start off small and then grow. But here, people are like, we want the biggest stars, we want A-list celebrities. So I didn't ever feel a pressure. It was more like an excitement. I'm literally getting to do what I love, and going to meet people like yourself and other
Mm,
brands and just talk about fitness. But
mm.
it was my job was wicked. Yeah,
Wicked, yeah. I
yeah.
can imagine. I mean, I remember the first because so I was at the time brand ambassador for PhD, and
Mm.
we had a stand there.
I think
And it
they
was
came in the second one.
was
Yeah.
it the second
So
one?
the
Oh
first
yeah, the first one
one
was
was down at the
yeah,
marina.
that was a smaller
Yeah,
one in Marina. The second one, it was the
which
second
was
one.
chaos. That
Yeah.
that first event. I don't know if you remember I think they've knocked it down now, but the Marine Club
Yes, yes,
next
yes,
to
yes. Yeah.
Barasti, and we were told, look, it can take maybe 3,000-4,000 people
Yeah.
max, and we were like, oh,
No, because
that'll
I
be
went to the
fine.
first one because I had a couple of friends competing at that one. I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah, I remember it very
we
well.
shut down Dubai Marina.
Yeah.
You couldn't get in or out. You couldn't. There was far too many cars, and it
Mm.
was a 2-floor
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
building.
remember. And then you could go in through the side if you were competing, go up the stairs.
Well, but they
Yeah.
had to stop people going
Yeah,
upstairs
yeah,
because it was so full.
yeah.
The weight load on the
Would have
floor,
collapsed. Yeah.
the floor would have
Yeah, but
collapsed.
everyone was pretty big underneath it, so they would have kind of
Yeah,
just taken
but
the weight.
I mean that was really stressful. But like, what a problem to have,
Right,
like
that yeah,
being too
yeah,
busy.
being too
Yeah.
good, yeah.
So like the buzz from that show was like huge, and after that we were like, look, the only place we can do this now is the
Is
trade
the trade
center.
center, and you had how
Um,
many halls there? You had
so we started off with 2 halls,
two
and then
halls.
it's grown by
Yeah, it's
one
now
hall
yeah,
every
yeah,
year. Yeah,
every year. Because I remember going there, they said we're gonna have a stand, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be chaos.
yeah,
Um, and then I remember walking in there and thinking, wow,
yeah.
like there has been no, they pulled every string. It was an
Yeah.
event.
It's
It
man,
was
people
huge.
some of the exhibitors, like especially the local guys, were really like emotional about it, like
Mm,
coming up to me like, "Thank you so much for like putting this on for our
yeah,
country," And I was a bit like, "Wow,
yeah.
that's
No, I mean,
pretty awesome."
there is, especially in the fitness world. I mean, there are so many worlds within worlds in life.
Mm.
So you have the little dance world, and those people just live in that little bubble, and that's all they do all
Mm.
along. And then you have the fitness world, and
Yeah,
the whole fitness world was going nuts.
yeah,
It was the show to be in. People who weren't even into. I saw little old ladies walking around there with their
yeah,
babies and stuff.
yeah,
It brought everyone there. It really was. Everyone knew that December, that's the Dubai Muscle Show. Is so even now it's become a thing where everyone knows December Muscle Show. That's the
yeah.
place to be. If you ever, I mean, and also there, bodybuilding is so huge here with the locals. And where else would they have got the chance to meet with these people, to meet with
Yeah.
Kai, to meet with Phil, to meet with? I mean, it's not
Even
easy,
you mentioned the competitors, just a chance to stand on stage in front of thousands
right?
of people. I mean, it's basically like they're a professional,
Yeah,
competing in front of thousands of people, but anyone can enter and you can just be an
exactly.
amateur. So I think the competition element, those booths that are around the competition
Yeah,
are always the first to sell because
yeah,
it's just jam packed.
yeah, yeah,
People will watch the competition for 8-10 hours a
yeah,
day,
yeah,
which doesn't really happen in other markets. I think us as Brits, we'd probably go and watch a little
yeah,
bit,
yeah, yeah,
go and
exactly.
look at something else, and
Yeah, and also like people, because Dubai is so small, you'll probably know about 4 or 5 people who are competing
mm,
in different weight categories and all that stuff. So you can't just go watch one of them and just be like, all right, cool. You're gonna have to kind of stay there and
yeah,
support your friends throughout the whole thing.
yeah. And I think it kind of created a bit of an identity for the Middle East
Mm,
community, and
mm.
we all kind of know of each other from social
Yeah,
media
yeah,
or
exactly.
seeing people in the gym, and this kind of provided everyone a chance to get
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah, for
Um,
sure. And also you added the fitness aspect of it, so it wasn't just the bodybuilding
Yeah, so
eventually.
bodybuilding's been kind of pretty easy in terms of getting brands,
Mm,
getting people to come, because, like you said, it's such a passionate thing.
mm,
You either absolutely love it,
yeah,
or you can't stand it, or you're just not bothered.
mm,
So yeah, we realized to grow the event, we needed to get into more general fitness and
mm.
normal people that like
Was that
fitness.
a lot harder? Did you find that they were a bit scared to kind of associate with the whole bodybuilding? Because you get a lot of fitness brands, and the fitness world and the bodybuilding world, it's quite a difference between it.
Yeah.
So a lot of them could have been intimidated or just didn't want to be associated with it. Or how did you feel that way?
Yeah, so we gave it a new brand name, Dubai Active,
Mm,
which is still going, and that was just to completely different marketing campaign, different
mm,
brochures when we're pitching sponsors and stuff, and we try as much as possible. They're separate parts of the floor,
mm,
so yeah, I mean, some people just don't like being, associated at all with
Mm,
bodybuilding and muscle, which is a shame because, if you went to the show, most
mm.
of these consumers walking around aren't absolutely
Yeah,
jacked
exactly.
freaks. They're just, normal guys and
Yeah.
girls that like to weight train and resistance train.
Well, they were pretty jacked by the end of it because of all the freebie goodies that they
Yeah.
had to carry around in those bags. 'Cause I saw people with, and especially
Mm,
being there on my stand, they were just, the second we did a giveaway,
yeah.
you just see everyone just rush to the stand,
Yeah.
and they're literally taking their bags, taking their bags. Some people don't even have arms anymore. You just see little kids dragging bags for their parents and stuff
Yeah, that's
through there.
definitely one of the bigger attractions for
Mm,
people is, getting to try all the samples, and I guess the brands like it because
mm.
it's a chance for people to try
And
the
they get to
products.
see, because there's a lot of ambassadors here in Dubai, a lot of
Yeah.
sponsored athletes. So the people that wouldn't necessarily have a chance to connect with them or everything can
Yeah.
go take a photo for their Instagram, put it on there,
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man.
So what did you feel? Was there any kind of behind the scenes mayhem that went on? Because from my side, from seeing number two,
Yeah.
it looked smooth as smooth could be. It didn't look
Yeah.
like there was. I mean, that's obviously what you wanted it, but was
Yeah.
there?
I
You got
mean,
any funny
yeah, I mean,
stories?
there's always it's always kind of absolute chaos from an
Mm.
organizer's perspective, but the plan is to try and make it look as
Yeah,
slick
yeah.
as possible on the
On the
front.
face
So,
of it, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever been backstage at the
Yeah,
bodybuilding,
yeah,
for
yeah. You got
example. I
people
mean,
lying down, sweating all over the place.
tan
Yeah,
everywhere, and we've tried so many different ways to organize these guys, but you've
yeah,
got 1,000 very depleted
yeah. Who don't
guys.
want to wait another second before they
Um,
go on so they can have
yeah,
their
so
meal.
I think that's always quite challenging. Obviously, dealing with some of the bigger personalities, you
Mm.
get some crazy requests, and
What's the
but
craziest request that you've had?
I mean, there was a girl who came a few years ago. I won't
Mm.
mention her name, but
I think I already know who it is,
I,
but yeah.
I think she just decided the week before that she was pescatarian, so
Okay.
she only wanted fish,
Yeah.
and we'd kind of got all her meals
Meals
in from
ready.
like a meal prep
Yeah, yeah.
company, and she was just like, "I'm starving, like, I need
Yeah, yeah.
I need my
Yeah.
fish now." But to be honest, like most people in the industry have been really cool,
Really
and
cool guys.
yeah, they're not kind of at the level of like a Premier League
Mm.
footballer or an
Mm.
NBA star where they kind of, you know,
Mm. But I mean, are they though? Because to some of to the people that go there, and to people that are really into bodybuilding, I'm sure meeting Kai Green is better for them than meeting,
yeah.
Ronaldo.
I've just thought of another funny story actually. I think it was Kai went to train SF. I might have
Yeah.
told you this, and there were. I said, look, you can go there, but this
Mm.
is literally one of the most popular
Yeah,
gyms
yeah,
for bodybuilding
yeah,
in the country. So people are going to stop you and want
yeah, yeah,
photos. And he said he arrived, and people had already heard that he was on his way,
yeah.
and there was a queue for him to sign autographs and take photos. He tried to train, went into the bathroom to
Mm.
use the toilet, and people were asking him for
Yeah,
photos,
yeah.
like when he was using
So
the
then he was just like, "This is not gonna happen."
toilet. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, they do have a bit of a tough time
yeah.
sometimes.
But Kai, Mr. Getting It Done, is one of the loveliest guys I've ever met in my life.
Yeah,
I mean,
we had a good session with
we
him,
had a
didn't we?
very good session,
Yeah,
yeah. And he was, I mean, even before the session when he was talking and giving a little, insight into his life, and there's a certain level of humbleness to him that you can tell is not fake.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can, he's not one of these people that sees himself as, oh, look,
Superior or
yeah,
anything.
superior
Yeah.
or whatever. He's got all the time in the world for you. He's really genuine conversations, and I really like that about him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the documentaries about like where he's from and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what
yeah.
he's been through and stuff, but yeah, he's had a tough upbringing, and
Mm,
yeah, kind of brought up in like the projects in New York,
mm.
and yeah, I think as far as I know, he still kind of lives
Still
there,
there,
and
yeah.
pretty basic accommodation,
Mm.
and yeah, he's just kind of kept it real, really.
His work rate is unbelievable.
Yeah, there's some footage come out of him training recently, and maybe he's going to make a comeback, but
Mm. What do you
yeah.
feel?
Yeah, I mean, there's been that kind of chat for a while, and I get it, and it makes sense, doesn't it, to keep relevant and keep within
But do you think it
people
would be
talking
as
about
good
him.
if Phil's not there? I mean, I'd like to see him on stage with Phil, because it's kind of like the whole Manny Pacquiao Mayweather thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Where a couple of decisions where you're like,
I saw the Olympia is supposed to be making a big announcement today, so
mm,
maybe when this comes
let's
out,
see.
we'll know. But yeah, I think just give the fans what they want,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. I feel like personally he was cheated out of out of a couple of those
Yeah,
decisions.
I mean, I don't know loads about judging, but yeah, when they did compete against each other, they looked at least on the same level. But yeah,
Yeah, what
who
can you
knows
do
what'll
about it?
happen?
What can you
Yeah,
do?
yeah,
So what else is in store for the muscle show this year? Obviously, we have the strongest uh, thing around right now.
yeah. The unprecedented
Yeah,
times. Yeah,
which is
people don't like saying the word
yeah,
coronavirus, do they? But
not at all. I
yeah, I
really don't.
mean, it's obviously been a tough time for everyone, you know, in our industry, like PTs. I know
Yeah, but
you know a lot of, and
I haven't worked,
yeah.
since it started.
So yeah, I mean, but the industry, some people have just kind of said, well, that's it. I'm not going to do anything
Mm.
for a few months, and others have adapted, and yeah, some of the gyms are doing kind of paid online
Mm.
classes now that are doing
But I feel
well,
like
and
too many people have adapted to the point where
yeah.
you've got all these people online now who are personal trainers,
Mm.
not by qualifications, but
Do you
by
train at home? Do,
no.
yeah,
I
it's
can't
tough, isn't
do
it?
it, dude.
Yeah,
Well, it's tough because I got these two little monkeys jumping around all over the place and they'll never let me do it.
yeah,
But I mean, if you told me before this happened, do 20 press ups in a row,
yeah,
I'd do 100 and then laugh at you. After about 2 weeks of being locked down 24 hours,
yeah.
I tried to do 10 and I was on 9 and I was like, I don't have it in me to do one more.
And I saw Domino's pizza sales here have
Yeah,
like
yeah.
gone up by like
Right? Everything.
50%, and deliveries carried on. And
It's just insane. And it's also, one thing when this all started, everyone was like, don't go out unless you're going to the shop and stuff. And I'd see people going for runs in the street
yeah,
and I'd look at them and I don't want to badmouth people, but they probably weigh about 150 kilos,
yeah.
never ran a day in their life. And all of a sudden now you think it's time when everyone's on curfew. Now you've decided that you're a runner.
I think, yeah, I mean, I agree, but I also think that's like a really big positive, because there's loads of people, like you say, they've never worked out,
Yeah.
that are getting into fitness now. So
Yeah, but it was at a point, it's fine, but it was at a point where it was very clear, do not go out
yeah, that's not good.
unless you're
Yeah,
going to the shops. And I'm
running
sorry,
to the
but you're,
shops,
yeah,
but or come running with
with bags,
bags.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was looking at them like, do you feel like you're, an Olympic athlete and you have to keep that edge during this time in case you go back and then the games start and then you haven't missed anything?
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people ask us, you know, how's the market going to respond from
Mm.
this? And I've spoke to quite a few gym owners, and their predictions are like a lot of these new people are going to get gym memberships that wouldn't
Yeah, it's
previously.
going to be like the January, the New Year's resolution kind
Yeah,
of thing. Yeah.
because I mean, in terms of how like the percentage of residents here that are members of a gym, it's
Mm.
like 6%.
Yeah.
So if you look to Europe, they're kind of like 20%.
Yeah.
So here we've got a long way to go, and we can, you know, bridge that gap. So
But also it could be like, gyms like Fitness First and these gyms. I remember reading sometime that in January, because of this whole resolution thing, they make enough money from memberships for the whole year, even though people don't go. Do you know what I mean? They sign up and they
yeah,
never end up going,
I
but
want.
they make so much money from that first month of resolutions and stuff like that.
I think them. I remember talking to them about a membership a few years ago, and I think you have to pay for the year up
Yeah,
front or
for the
something.
year. Yeah,
Yeah, so maybe it makes sense.
yeah, that is crazy.
But the model here is massively changing,
Mm.
with people like Gym Nation coming in and disrupting things. And I pay 99 dirham a month to go there, and you know, you've got other operators that are, you know, some of the CrossFit gyms you pay like 2,000 a month, but then it's the middle tier
Yeah.
operators, you know, 300, 400, 500 dirhams, where I don't know, it's going to get a bit
Then you got
tricky for them, maybe.
my house 7
Yeah,
official,
yeah,
7 official, which to me is the best gym in the world. I mean, you go
It's
there
good
and
gym, yeah.
it's everything under one roof. You
Yeah.
have your cafe, you have a barber shop, you have, the cryo, you have the gym, the
Yeah.
people, the crowd is good. It's not an intimidating place.
I like that idea that
Yeah.
you can go to one place and get everything
And get
done.
everything done. Even your clothes can get, if you have a platinum membership, you'll finish training, put your clothes in the locker.
So Dubai.
You come back the next
Yeah.
day and everything's washed for you.
Wow.
And it's just like, yeah, that's the place to be.
I remember seeing, was it the movie Pain and Gain with the
Yeah,
Rock, and
yeah.
he had like a pool and like you could tan
Yeah,
afterwards.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
I think they've done that here a bit with the train gym.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Spend a whole day there get your hair cut, have a tan,
Mm.
bit of weights.
And it comes the Dubai life, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the best way to be. Do you feel like December is going to happen for the muscle show? Are
Yeah.
you confident that it's going to happen?
Yeah. So our event was actually November 12th to 14th this year.
Oh, so you went back a month.
Yeah, we went back, I think it's about 3 weeks because we were
Mm.
first week of December. But yeah, we got approached by the Dubai Fitness Challenge,
Mhm.
which is happening in that month.
Try keep it in the same.
So yeah, by working with them, we're going to get a lot more benefits in terms of number of attendees, and they fly over some famous talent as well that we can use with them.
People like Joe Wicks and those kind of.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So more of the general fitness and the Dubai Active brand. But in terms of being confident for it happening, I mean, we're 6 months out now as it stands.
Yeah.
Lockdown restrictions have been lifted to some degree here. Gyms are supposed to be opening. I heard there's going to be an announcement at the end of this week.
That's what I heard as well, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, locally in terms of people attending the event, I think we'll be fine in 6 months. The only issue could be if you're an American brand,
you're not
are you going to be allowed to fly? I think
from their side.
Yeah, from their side. But 6 months is a long time. And if you talk about what conversations we were having 2 weeks ago, we had to get a permit to go to the supermarket.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting here doing a podcast.
But I mean, yeah, it's true. I love the way Dubai handled everything, to be fair.
They've been great, yeah.
They weren't messing about. It wasn't a Boris Johnson thing. Go to school, but don't go to school. Go out, but don't go out. And they were very clear about it. Yeah. It was very, there was a lot of, the whole community kind of jumped on board. You'd see videos of Dubai at night. They'd had the drone and they'd show you that the streets were just...
Yeah, I think it's good. And like, I agree with stuff like the high fines if you break it, because you're not going to break it then.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand why anyone thinks they're above the law.
Yeah. Did you see in the UK people doing the conga in the streets?
Yeah.
But they had a rope, then it was 1.5 meters in between.
I mean, that's all better, right? I mean, I saw
people must look at us Brits and think, those guys are crazy.
I mean, I also saw another picture of cash machines. And so there was 3, the small cash machines that are not in the wall, they're just out.
Yeah.
So there's 3 of them next to each other.
Yeah.
And there's an X on the floor and then another X on the floor, 2 meters apart, leading up to the cash machine. But then the next one was literally next to it. So it was like, oh, lucky the virus can't travel sideways kind of thing,
Yeah, it's all it's just nobody really knows what's going to happen. But yeah, I've been watching a bit of Joe Rogan and stuff, and his kind of thoughts are that it's all overhyped. But
well, this is the thing, you never know, right?
Yeah,
you can only kind of go.
I mean, if you're talking about pure statistics, it's affecting people over like 45 is where it starts to get a more serious infection and death rate, and obviously the people with pre-existing conditions. So maybe if you take care of those guys and make sure they're
exactly.
okay.
And I think that's even easier for us for here, because I mean, there's a lot of expats here, so they're not necessarily visiting their parents a lot, who are all back home or whatever. So their main community is young friends, and like, they're not really going to see an 80-year-old or a 70-year-old.
Yeah, because you can't really retire here, can you?
So,
but I think the problem is, both me and you, we both have our own bias towards this. And
exactly.
Anyone you talk to is going to have a
their
bias.
Own opinion, their own bias, their own.
Yeah, because I want to get events back up and running.
Yeah,
you want to start training people. So, and then you might have a friend that has a 90-year-old grandma with lung problems, and
he's like, "What are you doing?" kind of thing.
They're going to be fighting. Let's keep a lockdown for ages. So, yeah, I think the best thing we can do is like look at the stats and
hope for the best. I mean, to be fair, that they know what they're doing,
Yeah, here they seem to. Yeah.
So what can you do? We still have a bit of sun. We still have gardens and all that stuff.
I think about an hour and a half of sun on my balcony. So
that's like when this first started. It was in the month where, for some reason, that month, I get literally maybe an hour of sun, but it's not the whole balcony. It's a diamond shape in the corner.
Yeah.
So I would have had to stand like this
to
try and get some sort of some sort of tan, just like that. I mean, I do miss the beaches.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
It's getting too hot now, though, isn't it? I went for a run around the marina yesterday morning, probably finished at about 8:30, and it was too
Too
hot.
hot. Yeah, that I've always been a sun person. I'd be at the beach in the afternoon in August.
But
The only person there just lying down.
exercise outside
Yeah.
now, and they're telling people to wear masks is like dangerous, man.
But you still got, the nighttime
Yeah,
that you can go. If you could do this at
that's
7
just
to
me
8,
being
8 to 9.
stupid. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna start going to Al Qudra again and riding the bike on
nice,
the.
nice.
They have 52K of path. You
Have
can
you
ride
got
the
a bike, or do you?
Yeah. So I
Okay.
got 2 bikes, and I also got one of these bike trainers that you put on, which helped a lot in the full lockdown. So you
Yeah.
put it on the back wheel, and you can just
Oh
pedal
yeah,
away
class.
in
Yeah,
the
I've heard
house while
about
you're
those. Yeah.
watching the movies and stuff. So that was really good and handy
Have
to
you
have.
tried that? There's some apps with that contraption you were talking about where you can cycle and then you look at a screen and it looks like you're cycling through the
The
park
thing,
or
yeah, well,
up a
I just put
mountain.
on a movie, so I was cycling during Thanos' finger click,
Yeah.
and watching. Have you Googled Thanos yet and seen this?
No.
So they have this whole with the animals, you can have them live in your house and all that. So now if you Google Thanos, you'll see a little glove, and you can click on the glove, and it literally clicks its finger, and then all of the other websites with anything Marvel, they just start disappearing.
All
Or
right.
whatever. It's really cool. So you just see like all the characters and everything, and it scrolls down through all of the
Cool, man.
websites, and it disappears. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Technology is interesting, isn't it? There's, I don't know what you think about all the kind of like fitness trends that have come out with tech and, like people wearing like the VR goggles and like cycling and,
I'm kind of
or is that, yeah,
I'm not really into all that. I'm into
I'm
just
quite
good
old
old,
school,
yeah,
man.
good old going to the gym and lifting some plates, and that's the whole kind of working out at home kind of thing. Is you're not going to build any muscle, and you're not going to maintain any muscle by doing a few burpees and doing a few push-ups. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's good to post on your Instagram, but you're not going to do
Yeah,
anything like that.
I mean, someone like you, especially
Yeah.
that's used to benching a couple of
Right.
100 kilos,
And well, a
and
couple
get-
thousand kilos,
yeah, and
No, but yeah, and then
get
you
home and do
go
a push up.
and do a push-up, or look at these amazing bands I got from bands.com.
Yeah,
and it's just like
I think if you're just trying to stay active and fit and healthy, I get that. But yeah, if you're trying to build any proper size,
it's not going to be
it's going to be tricky.
like a lot of people are going to come out of this thinking I was double the size before this, and just be in the gym all day every day. But then again, I'm not into the huge bodybuilding side of things. I like looking more athletic, more like a swimmer or a sprinter.
Yeah, I think that looks
like
kind of dying out just in general.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's more of the kind of lean look.
But I was really surprised. That was one thing that did surprise me when I came out here, seeing the locals and how huge they were into bodybuilding. I never thought that would be the case.
Yeah, I mean,
out
the
here.
gym is kind of like, if you go to any gym in Dubai at, 9 p.m.,
Yeah, rammed.
it's rammed and like they're all like chatting between sets. It's like the pub for them in the UK.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really cool. It's like a social thing. These local guys aren't going out to nightclubs.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them might, but yeah, it's like their
their
pub.
way of and their way of releasing energy and stuff, and it's really good competition.
I can't train that late though. If I have a pre-workout at 9 o'clock.
No, I'm fine. I can take one before bed and sleep.
Really?
Yeah, I remember I had so when I was sponsored and doing all that stuff, I used to come give you supplements and stuff, and it got to the point that I'd have to take 3-4 scoops of pre-workout just to give me a buzz, because I was taking it every day so regularly.
Do you know much about that? Because I'm a massive pre-workout fan. I take it all the time. Should you have time off, like a pre-workout?
I mean, you should have a reset with everything in life, all of those kind of things.
I've probably taken it,
and depending which ones you have,
for,
so you get some, tyrosine and stuff in there that gives you the tingles. Some people don't like that
like
tingle thing.
beta-alanine.
Beta-alanine. Yeah, I love that tingle thing, and you just get into the gym and you're like,
man, it gets quite bad. Like when I've been traveling, like I'll now like travel with like
with
a
pre-workout, right? Anytime, it's like your coffee. You
or
just
like
if
I go into the gym and I'm at an event in Germany or whatever, and I've not got my pre-workout, and I'll just have a coffee, I'll be a bit like, not really feeling this workout.
If you drink coffee, then you're drinking coffee and pre-workout. With me, I've never drank a sip of coffee in my life, so pre-workout is the only caffeine I get.
Would you normally have it morning or evening?
I just have it whenever I train.
Yeah.
So my training, if it's in the morning, I have it in the morning. If it's late in the evening, I have it in the evening.
Do you have any kind of like crash a few hours
I
after?
used to with different brands, but I noticed that there's some brands that are better than others when it comes to crashing and this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've often wondered if they can actually do that, because whatever goes up's got to come
It's got to
down,
come
right?
down, right? Yeah, but when I was doing the forescooping, I was having a bit of a crash
Yeah.
after that, because I was literally like flashing through the gym, and then 3 hours later, I was like, why do I feel like, I have no energy, I want to sleep? And it took me a while to figure out, oh yeah, it's because you're having 19 cups of coffee in one shake,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, I'd usually have it first thing in the morning, get into the gym, come back and work. And that morning I'd be absolutely flying
Yeah,
through
yeah.
stuff like it'd still be going. But as soon as you eat, like because
Yeah.
I was fasting, I'd
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
have a big meal.
Mm.
And then
Well, they say that
after
it
lunch,
works so much better on an empty stomach as well,
yeah,
because there's nothing to kind of soak up.
yeah,
Yeah. After lunch, you just be like,
exactly.
after that. Yeah, I don't know how to deal with it.
Mm.
I'm not really into, like I used to be when I was promoting and I was sponsored, and I used to just like promote everything. Take this, take that, take
Yeah.
this. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm pushing this to all my followers, but I don't take it.
Yeah,
And I also know that you don't need any of it. If you're having a healthy diet and you're having your food and you're getting aminos from your food, and a good an all protein shake when you're as a supplement, so when you can't get to the food,
yeah,
it's cool. So right now I only take a vegan protein and a pre-workout.
I mean,
That's as far as it goes.
it's quite a new thing, isn't it? Sports nutrition in terms of like, the history of exercise and sports. I mean, there's not a load of studies out there on the effectiveness of sports supplements. I know creatine's been proven to work. Pre-workout, you know if it's working.
Yeah, exactly.
And then protein, we're told it works, but I guess you don't
exactly.
know.
Exactly.
But
And even with pre-workout, I kind of feel like, when you forget your headphones when you're going to the gym, and you just have this, you feel like you're missing something. There's been so many times where I've driven to the gym, I've gone to drink my pre-workout halfway through the drive and realized I've left it, and my whole mood literally just changed.
Yeah.
Like I literally started feeling down. I was like, oh, it's not going to be a good workout. I'm not up for it. I'm not, Then I'll be running around the gym like, do you have pre-workout? Do you have pre-workout? Hey mate, have you got some pre-workout?
Get your fix.
Yeah, to try and just get a little crack fix of pre-workout, and then ready to go.
Yeah, that's not good, is it?
Nah, not at all. What else are you thinking about that people should know about the?
What, with the show, or
the
just
show?
in general?
A bit of both. Whatever you want to throw out there.
Yeah, I guess at the moment it's just just we're trying to talk to brands in countries that are kind of feeling positive about it, the whole situation, and we're still getting exhibition stands signed up. We got a couple last week from Germany who kind of relaxed the lockdown, and they're all planning forward for the rest of the year. So it's
what
about
about recurring brands? So when you have a brand, do you feel like since you started, it's not an issue to kind of, these brands are ready to go every year?
Yeah.
They've kind of, no one's been like, nah, that's not for me.
Yeah, I mean, someone like PhD, I think, have been there every year since they started.
Since number 2, right?
Most brands that come back, which is good, and it's probably why we've grown so much, because we rebooked 70% of our sponsors at the event on site.
So, because I remember that.
Yeah, so we had a great team of our staff going around getting people to sign up for 12
Literally,
months'
I remember
time.
You had a little piece of paper and you're like, look, this is what's free now. You want this one or this one, or take this
it's
one?
The best time. I mean, you've got all of the owners of the companies there. They're really excited. They're buzzing. They were like, man, that was amazing. Like, we need to be in this spot next year, or we need, more space.
They can see, they can be like, oh, okay, that spot there is
it's
getting more than us. It's getting more traffic.
Exactly. We had a huge layout of the future year, and we were literally crossing off stands as they booked. So it's a whole FOMO thing, everyone's booking
and getting ready.
Yeah.
So who pays for the athletes when they come out here? Is it the brand that brings them out, or do you guys kind of hire them separately, or how does it work?
Yeah, so to start with, we didn't have any reputation or when we launched, so we paid for a couple of the kind of
the really big ones,
tier one guys to come out, like Jay and Ronnie and people like that. But as it's grown, a lot of the brands and retailers and distributors, they want big names on their stand, so they'll bring them. So,
and especially if they're sponsoring them anyway, so they have the link, they have the connection.
Yeah, so we've got some really good athletes that have just come with brands, and it's
and so you're lucky
a great bonus.
They
kind of say, "Is it all right if I bring these guys?" We're like,
of course. You kind of play it down a bit, like, I think we got some room.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
So yeah, I guess as it's got bigger, it's been easier with stuff like that. And then you get companies that have their own brand. Sorry, famous athletes that might have a clothing brand.
Mm.
So we can do a bit of a deal where they get a space and then
Yeah.
they can come to the show and promote the show.
So with Kai, Dynamic is his, right?
Yeah, he owns that. Yeah,
So that stand is his stand. So
yeah,
you personally kind of do it with him.
yeah. So we did a deal with Kai based on his brand, and he came over for the workout stuff he did it last April.
Yeah.
Can you believe that was over a year
Crazy,
ago?
right?
I think at the moment it just feels like the last few months have just flown,
And
because we've been kind of wishing it away.
yeah,
a
and
bit.
the kind of void as well.
It's the middle of May.
It's crazy. It's not that long left, and then we're gonna hit the next one again.
What's your predictions? I know you're the interviewer, but I'm interested.
In the beginning, people said to me, "Oh, it's gonna be a week." I said, "Listen, mate, this is not a joke. We're gonna be all the way to August." They were like, "No way, it's gonna be this." I said, "Listen, it's not gonna happen the way you think it is for many reasons. One of them, especially here, is the local population is quite small.
Yeah.
So when there were such high levels of death going on, they can't afford to risk basically wiping out half of the local population.
Mm.
You know, there's a lot of expats here. So they had to be very careful to preserve that side of it as well.
Yeah.
And also, I was just looking at the trends of countries and what they were doing, and I was like, it's just not, they wouldn't go to this length with the lockdowns and the sterilizations and all that stuff if it was just going to be a week. Or
Yeah.
it was pretty clear that it was going to be a big thing. And because it was worldwide.
Yeah, it's kind of scuppered a lot of people's plans, hasn't it? Like, I'm supposed to be getting married in August.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we've postponed that to next year now.
That's crazy. Was the wife happy about that? Or
yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was a bit more relaxed than her,
yeah,
which you probably can imagine. I think she just wants to have a decision made,
and
just so she's not just worried and
know that it's getting done.
Yeah, because every day our friends are like, "Oh,
what's
happening with the wedding?" Like, and you know, it's it's not nice to be kept being asked, I guess.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, so many plans. I feel really bad for the travel agents.
Yeah,
because the airlines are one thing, but travel agents, who are usually small companies who are home owned, kind of just set up with, you know, family businesses and all that, all the money that they have to give back to people must have been insane.
Yeah, I wonder how that works with their budgeting. Do they take the money and then probably spend it on staff or whatever?
Spend it on staff, spending it on sending people out there to get new destinations and all that. So it must have been.
Yeah, a lot of industries are going to be hit hard by it. But I think the ones that adapt and will be the ones to overcome it, really.
Yeah, it's strange. The fitness industry literally closed. I mean, even when the gyms open, there's going to be a lot of people who don't want to go for the first month and kind of want to still kind of.
I'll be buzzing to get back in. Yeah,
I'll be sleeping there every day. There's.
Yeah. What are you going to train? What's your first
shoulders
session? Yeah,
my favorite has always been shoulders. I don't know why, but when I train my shoulders, I get pump on my toes. It's nice. It's the best thing for me. I love it. What's yours going to be?
You can't be a bit of chest, can you?
Yeah.
A bit of arms as well. Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing push pull now, so it will be chest, shoulders, tris.
Yeah, I've got some weights at home. I've got a Olympic barbell and plates and stuff. So.
But what are you doing? Are you really sitting there doing deadlifts?
I got a like a bench and. Where you take it off the bar, it's a really cheap one. It's like just where I'd want to put my hands. Exactly. So I either have to go super wide.
When you're putting it back, you're gonna clip this bit of your hand.
And I've put it in my spare room, and like it's hitting the wall and like making marks and stuff.
But that's another thing. The industry, they must be booming right now. People who sell dumbbells and
they can't keep up with the demand. We've got a few exhibitors that sell home gym equipment and. Yeah, they can't keep up with the demand.
Especially during the whole 24-hour stuff. I mean, just before that, I remember people were just messaging me, where can I get this? Where can I get that? Do you know any shops? I really need to get some dumbbells. I really need to. And if can you steal any from the gym for me? Or do you know what I mean?
If people have got the money, like I'm hearing of people buying like full gym setups and
I'm sure Kelvin.
Yeah, I was going to
Ghana.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know Darren, the IFBB pro Darren Farrell.
No.
He's got one of Kelvin's like full gym setups in just as an apartment. You know, it's like one of the massive rigs with bench.
The monsters,
pull downs.
Because I remember somebody was asking me, and I said, "Okay, check this guy's website," and it was sold out.
Yeah, he's done really well. I called him up a few weeks ago and said, "What dumbbells can you do for me?" And I think all that he had left was like 42s or something. And it's like, yeah, great. I could do a bit of chest, maybe shoulders, but
a couple of like wrist
you're
curls,
not curling that.
shrugs. Yeah. It's. I mean, what can we do? We can live it out and see what's happening and just get on with it. As long as everyone's happy and everyone's kind of like getting on with it, it's a small sacrifice to make. I mean, never in our generation have we ever seen anything like this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big football fan, and football's
Who do you support?
Liverpool.
Yeah, it's like my brother.
Yeah.
He's at this point where I'm asking him questions like, what if they do restart the season and he won't have that conversation with me? He's like, they're not going to do it. They can't do it. They can't. And I'm like, well, maybe they can.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking more likely that, it might not happen because I think Germany and Spain tried to go back this week, and then loads of players have tested positive.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was going to say that the last time football was stopped was like World War II.
Right?
Yeah. So
what do you think is going to happen with Liverpool? Do you think that they're going to get?
We've just got to win 2 more games, mate.
Yeah, but why don't they just very simply? Okay, this is the table. No more football's being played. Whoever's in the lead wins. Whoever's second. This is the way it is. You are in a position where you are.
But you've got, I think, about 6 or 7 teams that could mathematically get relegated on almost the same points, and some have a game in hand.
Yeah.
Against a really easy team.
Yeah.
So it's just never going to be fair, is it?
It's a tough decision.
Because I think it's great if Liverpool win the league, but the big problem is going to be if you get relegated from one of the top leagues.
And then there's
the amount
also
of
going to
money
be
you're going to lose.
The other fans who, when you say, yeah, well, we won the league, and they're going to be like, well, not really. You know, it could have changed. You won it luckily, and it doesn't count. And
yeah, I'm not bothered about that.
Yeah, like, I'll take the trophy.
Liverpool haven't won it in 30 years, so
Liverpool's
I'll take.
Team now is something else, huh?
Oh yeah, I went over Christmas. I went to the Leicester game away. We won 4-0 and just blew them off the park. It was unbelievable.
That must have been amazing. I remember the first game I ever went to watch was Liverpool Tottenham in the days of Lineker, Gaza.
Oh wow!
So my brother surprised
Sharing your
me.
age.
Yeah, my brother surprised me and took me there. Didn't tell me where we were going, and I wasn't even a Liverpool fan. Didn't tell me where we were going. Went on a train and then ended up there.
Were you at Anfield or White Hart Lane?
Anfield. Okay. Yeah. So long train journey. Got there and I was just blown away by the whole. You know, when you're a kid and you go into the stands.
Oh yeah,
one
the
thing
first time you see it.
When you see it and hear the noise and this is another thing. I was watching UFC 249.
Yeah.
So I'm into that kind of stuff and watching it without they had it yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
And there was no crowds in the background.
Yeah.
And it was a weird feeling watching it.
You could hear when they raised the guy's hand at the end. He was like, "Fuck
So why didn't they just play a soundtrack of a crowd in the background? I don't understand why they just didn't put it on the speakers and then make it seem like there was people there.
Yeah, I don't know. No idea.
Surely that makes more sense.
They've spoken about with the football putting like
the
imposed fake fans in, haven't they?
Yeah, but the players won't see them.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. But the argument is with all these neutral venues, they're talking about that you lose the the benefits of playing in your home city and just being local. And
but I mean, playing in your home city, isn't that the fans that?
Yeah, I mean, if you live in Watford and your match is in Watford, it's probably going to be a lot easier for you than if you have to go up to Newcastle.
Yeah, true. I mean, I also watched it came up on the YouTube of Royal Rumble or WWE.
Yeah,
and watching wrestling without the crowd as well.
Weird.
Wrestling's funny enough when you're watching it, but watching it without a crowd is a very, very odd because they make so many noises and the stomping and the and the grunts and stuff. And I remember watching it and thinking, oh, man,
I'm gonna have to turn this up.
This is very weird. And then they also kind of walk into
your
the
wife's
ring.
asking what you're watching.
Right. They walk into the ring. And they have all this kind of like serious faces on and stuff, and there's no one there watching them. So they still have to act like they're really hurt, and there's no one there to kind of do the or whatever. So that was a very strange thing.
Yeah, that's something you would expect them to put sound effects behind,
right? I mean, it can't be that hard to make, 20,000 idiots in the background.
The new normal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the world's going to change from this. Well, I mean, it has, but I don't think it's gonna change anything majorly.
Yeah, I mean, a good kind of test of when things are back to normal is, when do you think you'll next be in like a packed bar
Mm.
like normal? When do you reckon that'll be? Or a packed mall
I
and
think
no
since
restrictions?
they've closed all the schools for the end of till the end of the year and stuff, I think that kind of gives us a
Mm.
look
This
at,
time next year, are we wearing masks?
right.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean, masks are they're not bad anyway. I mean, in countries like China, Japan, and all that stuff, like when you're sick, you usually wear a mask anyway
Mm.
to kind of protect other people from you coughing and sneezing and whatever. I mean, I think a mask is a pretty cool thing to wear if you're sick anyway.
Mm.
You shouldn't really be walking around.
Are we
Going
going to
to the
see
gym.
like mask fashion? Is that going to?
It's already started. Have you
Yeah.
not seen? There's people who have grills on their masks.
We need Dubai Muscle Show masks.
Right, we need to make them and get them to pose in the
Give them
masks.
out at the show. Get them sponsored. If anyone wants to sponsor, let
Right,
me know.
all the different brands can have their different masks.
Yeah,
All right, I thought of that idea. So if we're making it, I want some money from it.
sure.
So also, we must be able to, because if there's anyone to talk to, you're the man to talk to. We must be able to have a nice little giveaway. There must be something we can do for the people watching and stuff.
Yeah,
for
sure, I
for
can
the
help
next
you out. Yeah,
next muscle show. What do you think we can do for them? What can we?
1% discount on tickets.
1% discount. Got to do better than that, Nick.
No, we'll give away a couple of VIP tickets to the show, and take people backstage to meet some of the guys.
That'll be amazing.
Yeah,
Dude. That'll
no
be amazing.
problem.
We'll get them to like and follow the page and keep
Yeah.
up to date, and we'll do a little giveaway on there.
Awesome.
So just make sure you put more than 2 tickets, because obviously I'll steal a couple for myself.
Yeah, I'll hook you up.
I'll
don't
just
worry.
be like, here's a. Oh, I won.
Yeah.
That's so strange. Imagine. So, one thing always at the end, or coming towards the end of the podcast, I go through with everyone, as you know, and as most people know, I want to talk about death.
Oosh.
I know
You
it
briefed
sounds
me
like,
about this earlier.
yeah,
I
I know
wow.
it sounds like a.
I thought this was the fun, happy, clappy
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly. It brings it down again, but I mean, it's something that every one of us has to deal with, and it's inescapable. I mean, it's something that philosophers have been trying to figure out and discussing since the beginning of time.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what are your views on it? How do you feel? What do you tell me about it?
I think we're quite similar in the fact that I don't really like to think about it too much, or kind of like, I kind of try and just joke things off, or
Yeah.
make in terms of, I don't know, in terms of like a higher power or where we go. Not sure really.
What is your instinct? Have you ever sat there and actually thought about it? What is your instinct for
I
when
mean-
that click happens? What then?
I mean, I was brought up in quite a Christian family,
Mhm.
and they were kind of very strong Christians. So, yeah, I think, there's a part of me that would like to believe that there's a heaven, and we can all go and live happily ever after. Yeah.
And is that something that you've thought about, or I mean, have you ever thought? Because I'm so surprised at how little a lot of people have actually thought about it.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I think about every day. Not in a I sit on the floor crying, weeping, help me, but it's something that
It's
I
a good
consider
motivator,
every day.
isn't it?
Yeah, I consider it every day. I think about it. It makes me reanalyze stuff. What's important? What's not important? Is it really worth having that argument? Is it?
I think Gary V.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
his biggest motivator, he says, is we're all gonna die.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, and in that sense, nothing really matters, right?
Yeah.
Not in a negative. What's the point of doing anything? Because nothing really matters. But all this kind of like, materialism and all that. Because I never think about death in a very negative way. I always think about it in quite a positive way. But there are times when I really, it could be 1 a.m. where I'm lying in bed, and I'll think very in depth about it.
Yeah.
And
After
about
too much pre-workout.
yeah,
is
right.
that- yeah.
And about that second when it goes, and I literally get a shake. Like I have to stand up and walk to the balcony or something, because
I mean, we don't remember before we were born, do we?
yeah, but it's very easy to say that because you're in the part where we do remember.
Yeah.
So you have a lot to lose then. You don't have anything to lose from before you were born. You're not letting go of anything. So that memory you're not missing anything. But then now saying you're not going. I mean, are you happy with, for example, it being like when you were born and you don't feel it and you don't remember anything? So are you happy to lose all these memories, all these?
Deep, man. Yeah. I mean, I guess uh, some thoughts I've had on it is, what do you think happens to like an ant if it dies? Probably just decompose and like
What we do.
that's it.
We decompose.
Yeah. So I guess as you get bigger in the size of animal, why should that change?
Yeah.
Why are we special?
Exactly. So by thinking that, because my brother doesn't, he's just not into anything. He's a full on atheist, and he's, when you die, you die. That's it. There's nothing.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the scariest thing ever. Like for me to think, me thinking that about him is scaring me. But imagine for him, who actually thinks like that, because I believe that there's something after. There has to be something after. But he doesn't. So how does that thought process in his head that, yeah, okay, there's nothing, that's it, it's fine, it's done?
I think, a lot of people, and probably myself included, just like to not think about it. And for him, that's probably a way of just like parking it and just cracking on with his life and dealing with it when it comes.
Do you deal with it when it comes? Like, do you get a chance to deal with it when it comes? Like, and also...
Maybe that's all right, though. I mean,
Not for me. I don't know, mate. I don't think I'm happy about this.
So have you found an answer?
I don't think anyone will ever... I think that's the most fascinating thing about it. I don't think anyone here will ever have an answer for anyone.
But do you think you'll keep thinking about it so much that you eventually go, I'm not going to get an answer here, let's just not think about it?
No, because it's the one reality that's unchangeable in life that you're going to face. No matter how much money you make, no matter how happy you are.
You never know. We could have some technological
development. You think Elon Musk is going to make us live forever?
Take us to Mars and we, lengthen our lifespan.
I don't know. I think that Reaper is coming for everyone, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I wonder if they've done tests with like animals and stuff, making them live longer.
I'm sure they have. I mean, I'm sure they have. But even, and at the same time,
or even
I wouldn't want to live forever.
Would you not? I would.
No, I wouldn't.
But are you getting old and like you can't walk and talk and stuff, or are you? No, if you could live forever at this age,
I don't think I would, because it would eventually just get so boring.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, not much would change. Well, what would change? It would get to the point that...
But if your other option is not knowing that you're dead.
Yeah, but in most movies and most of that stuff, all those people that can live forever, Dracula and all that stuff, they're just trying to die. They've had enough of it all. They're trying to find ways so they can't live forever.
Yeah, I guess you'd get new friends, and then you'd know that they were going to die and you weren't.
Yeah.
But if we all could live forever,
then what?
We'd have to
but then again,
find new planets.
That's the same thing about the thought of heaven and everything like that. You'd also be eternity there. So it's a very strange thing. And
are you getting in? You getting into heaven?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'd like to think I am. I'd like to think that I'm I have a very good heart, and I don't try to mess people up and mess people over, and I try to live as clean as possible. And me, I go through most of my life just through humor and trying to make everyone's day better and make them forget about their troubles and stuff. But you never know, mate. I think also for children, that the whole heaven and hell thing is a very good thing when you're raising children, because imagine saying to a child, no, that's it, your friend died.
Yeah.
How could they possibly comprehend that, or the fear that must be in them must be difficult. I mean, I don't know if there's many atheists out there that raise their children that way, where it's just like, yeah, that's it, you die, you're gone.
Yeah, it's not the nicest thing.
Saying that, to an 8-year-old surely isn't, the way forward.
Yeah, I think, was it Ricky Gervais? He talks quite a bit about this. There's some interesting
I love
stuff.
Ricky Gervais.
He says that like God's like the cheapest childminder you can find.
Yeah.
Like, oh, don't do that.
Yeah,
God's
exactly.
watching.
Yeah. I don't know. I've just always been fascinated by it. You're gonna go home now, and you're gonna be like, oh, no,
I know, man. I'll be
gonna die.
up late, have some pre-workout.
Yeah, and think about it. Just get your pen and paper around, do some maths, and try and figure it out.
Yeah, but I guess it's like, I don't like maybe thinking about stuff that I can't control.
Mm.
Like like with my work and everything else, I've always felt like I can change the outcome.
Mm.
But
This is the
you
main
can't.
point for me.
You
Yeah, that
can't.
you can't change this outcome. And have you
But
prepared for it? I mean, do you have your wills all done? If
but
touch wood.
I think my advice to a lot of people is, if you can't change the outcome,
Mm.
don't worry about that. Like, worry about things that you can change.
Mm.
So if you're worrying about dying,
Mm.
you need to be worrying about, well, what can I do? Which it sounds like you are. What can I
Mm.
do in my life to make it
Yeah.
unbelievable?
Exactly. And that's the thing. I feel like if people don't think about that, they can not come to that realization of how, you know, how fleeting life could be.
Yeah, you don't
And
want to
before
be.
they know it, they've just wasted it all.
Yeah, you don't want to be dying with regrets, do you?
Mm. It's crazy. I mean, even like this podcast, in 10 years, my kids could watch this if I'm not
Yeah,
around,
I could.
touch wood. And yeah, you're right. Boys, how you did? Go to the muscle show. Then they could get some kind of aspect of who I was. And
Yeah, that's really
and,
cool. I often wish I didn't know my mum and dad's dad, so my granddad's,
yeah,
but imagine if they had this technology and they
exactly.
could
And
have
they could
given
leave back. So same with me. My biological father passed away when I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
And I have maybe one memory of him.
I bet you would have, if he could have done a video.
Exactly. And even now, like, I asked my brother and sister who were around him, my older brother and sister, there's been points where, well, what was he like? What kind of character was he? And they were quite young at the time as well, so they don't really have a proper answer for me, kind of thing.
Yeah, I've thought about that as well. And even people that have memories of your dad, for example, you should get that on video.
Yeah.
Because then you can pass that to your boys as well.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a very strange thing. And I mean, it's even better for now for, people who are sick, who can leave messages for their children and that kind of stuff.
Used to be a time capsule, didn't it? Do you remember this?
Yeah, do you remember? Yeah. We did that in school where we dug the ground, put it in there, and then...
Do you reckon it's still there?
Like, it must be still there. Unless they've built over it, which is...
Probably,
sure
they needed a new leisure centre.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's a very... I find it a very cool subject, and I like to know other people's opinions on it. You get some people who have, really in-depth answers, and then some people who are just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, but why don't you know? Why are you not thinking about this? How, like a friend of mine, until I remember bringing it up to him, and he had never thought about it. He's like, it's never been something I thought about.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I think, it's like the...
What kind of game are you playing here, mate?
Like, I grew up near Liverpool, and the kind of northern attitude up there would be like, just crack on, mate.
Get on with it.
One of them, mate.
Right, flower, get on with it. Yeah.
Just crack on.
Yeah, I think for me, you shouldn't think about it all the time, but be aware of it. I think the awareness of it helps you in life.
Yeah.
The awareness of your...
Yeah, it's a driver.
Mortality.
It should be a driver of everything we do.
Yeah. I don't want to die. Find a way, Nick.
You'll be all right.
Find the best supplement at the show. There must be something.
Whey protein.
Can you imagine how, the Dubai Muscle Show will change in 10 years? You might have a completely different show with new supplements and keep you younger for longer. And
yeah, I think it's going that way towards kind of health supplements, vitamins, and that kind of thing.
I mean, there's a lot of shady companies out there as well in the fitness industry, and the people who obviously don't look like that because of supplements.
Yeah,
and then promote the supplements. Then you get people who come in there and go, "Oh, take this and you'll look like me." It's like, nah, mate, you won't.
I mean, that's been happening since we were kids. Probably, I remember the first Maxi Muscle catalog I ever saw, and it was just like a shredded guy they'd obviously just picked out and said, "Can you, say you take Maxi Muscle?" But I mean, that happens in all industries, doesn't it? Like the beauty industry, people using makeup and.
But if you're inherently ugly, I don't think all the makeup that you can put on is going to make you. But I mean, like, a lot of people do think that taking these supplements is going to make a difference, whereas it's just not.
Yeah, I mean, but with the makeup analogy, you probably would aspire to look like Kim Kardashian if you were a girl, so you'd buy her products. But like you say, it might not be possible.
Yeah, you can't paint one ugly.
But I think more so, you could argue with fitness, they can achieve those goals that are in the magazines if they put the right effort in.
Everything else other than the supplements.
Yeah,
you know.
And the supplements.
Yeah, but
on
I
top,
mean,
yeah.
I remember when I was, doing my shoots and I was most shredded and I was,
Pretty
you know,
shredded now, mate.
nah, mate, not
He took his
anymore.
top off before, by the way.
Not anymore. And I would be promoting something on the supplements, and I'd be thinking, "Mm, I'm lying to people because the work it took me to do this, and the prep for the shoot, and the drinking 10 liters of water a day, and then going down, and the little meals, and the double cardios, and essentially training 3-4 hours a day. The
Yeah.
average person's not going to be able to do that.
And unless it's your job, which it sounds like at that time,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
might have been part of your job. But for me, the gym's always been, I just want to get in and out in an hour,
yeah.
look good on the beach, feel good,
And that's it, right?
and then just crack on, you
Oh,
know?
yeah, crack on. I was talking to my friend. He was on episode 1. Wes, I don't know if you know him. And we were talking about strength training, and because he's so strong, dude.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. He looks strong, obviously, but he's 10 times stronger than he looks.
Mm.
And we're talking about him training for strength and all that. But for me, it's purely aesthetics.
Yeah.
I don't care how strong I am, as long as I look ripped.
Yeah.
That's good for me. I mean, I great feeling, and the whole social thing about being in the gym and all that. That's cool. But let's not get it twisted. I'm not training for anything other than looking good.
Yeah, I think I went through a couple of phases. I think I probably started off to look good, kind of in like last few years of school when you're going away on beach holidays and stuff. But then I got a lot more into sport at uni, so I played American football, and I never really squatted because obviously, you think nobody sees your legs. But playing American football, and it was all about like, who's got the biggest squat, who's got the biggest deadlift, and we had like team lifting competitions and. Yeah, got a lot more into the strength side then. But I think I saw my overall like look get better when I incorporated like leg work and
well, a lot of people don't train legs, and it releases the most GH in your body, and you get big on top by training.
I think the problem I found was my legs grew like pretty quick for some reason, and like I've always worked in jobs that I need to wear like suits and stuff, and it was just like. Yeah, it was just too much. Like, the seam on your pocket, it was just like ripping
like Incredible
open.
Hulk.
And I was like, mate, I'm not like a professional athlete. I don't want to be like ripping my trousers with my quads.
Yeah, I went through the same thing. There was a period where I was huge and I was just jacked. And then I had to remind myself, I'm 5'8" or whatever. Like, I don't look good. I just started going outwards, if you know what I mean. Like, shoulders started really getting bigger, and you wear a t-shirt and you look like a bodybuilder. I mean, I like wearing a t-shirt and looking normal.
Yeah.
So you started to have the t-shirts that the shoulder was up there because it wouldn't fit over your thing, and the tightest t-shirt. And then I was like, yeah, this is not for me anymore. I can't be dealing with it.
Responsible dad like yourself,
right?
Yeah.
Are you thinking of having kids?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, we're gonna obviously get married first and stuff. So yeah, I guess that's on hold.
Very Christian of you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Because we would like to have kids relatively soon, but
boys, girls, not fast.
Yeah, not too bothered. I mean, having a boy would be pretty nice. I think with the whole like sporting angle and but I'm sure I could get a girl into that as well.
Yeah. I mean, these days it's.
I think it's just a blessing having a kid, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's amazing. It's the craziest thing that you're ever going to go through.
Yeah, because I mean, so much stuff can go wrong, and shouldn't be selfish and say I want X or Y.
I mean, I also get a lot of people when I ask them about the whole kids thing that it's not the right time, and it's never the right time.
Yeah.
It's an expense that's going to come in, and it will never be the right time. There's always going to be something else going on, and it's a case of you got to think about your age. Because the way I always thought, I mean, I have my eldest is 18.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay.
I have an 18-year-old boy, and he's like one of my best mates.
What are you now?
30. I stopped
you
counting.
You don't have to say.
No, I stopped counting at about 30. I don't care. Who cares?
30 something.
I think I'm 37.
Yeah.
82, 37.
Yeah.
38, around that. So, I mean, we have a great relationship with each other.
That's quality, yeah. Being similar.
So
age.
now he's 18. I'm at I can understand what's going on. I can relate to what he's liking and stuff.
Is he here?
No, he's in the UK.
Okay.
But he comes every year.
Nice.
And if you're edging closer to 40 or whatever, I speak to some of my friends, they're like, oh, I don't know yet. And I'm like, mate, when he's 10, you'll be 50.
Yeah.
When he's 20, you'll be 60. So you have to kind of think ahead like that also, of how old do you want to be when your kid's 15?
Yeah, you've got that, and I guess you've got the female side and the age they get
and
to
the
when
age
they
thing.
can't have
Yeah.
kids,
I mean, kids they're a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So you want to still be at an age where you can still have some.
Oh, mate, we
some
looked
energy.
after my fiance's sister's kids. We went to Portugal, and we were in a villa, and they've got 2 young kids, like 3 and 6.
It never stops, right?
Mate, I thought I'd be able to get a little bit of work done, or
Yeah.
just have a little bit of time to
It
myself.
never
And
stops.
I just went on the laptop to do some emails, and they just came in jumping on me, and
it is,
unless you physically like lock the door,
but it does keep you young. It does keep you active. It does
Yeah.
keep you busy. And again, like when you're older, you want to have something to look forward to, because your life kind of starts to wind down, and then you want to start kind of, looking at them and seeing them get married and having their kids and all that stuff. So if you're not interested in having kids and stuff like that, you kind of get older, and imagine you get divorced or whatever, and it's just you.
Yeah.
You're like 55 years old, and there's no one else there.
Yeah.
I think I had too many kids, to be fair, but
Well, you got 3.
3, yeah, twins. I mean, I always knew I was gonna have twins.
Yeah.
Way before.
Did you? That's interesting, because my mum is a twin.
Yeah.
Was there any history in your family of twins?
In her side, but I mean, I even got a message. So I was traveling in South America maybe 15 years ago, and I just re-linked with one of my friends on Instagram, and she sent me a message after she saw the pictures, and she said, "Do you remember when you told me that you were going to have twins? When you were like, I always knew." Yeah. Even when we went in for the scan when she was pregnant, I said to the nurse, I said, "Oh, you're going to scan the twins?" And she was like, "Yeah, all right, mate." And then she was doing the belly, and they both kind of looked at me like, "How did you know?"
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's just I knew that I was going to have
So was one of her parents a twin, or
uncles? I think uncles down the line, second, third, whatever. But I just
That's
knew,
cool.
I knew regardless.
2 for the price of 1.
Yeah,
get it done.
Get it out of the way. And they're not identical, so they're fraternal. They weren't in the same sex, so they're kind of very different characters. They look different, and they're very. One looks exactly like me. One looks exactly like her. One acts like me. The one that looks like me, he's nuts. The other one's like her. He's calm. He's But yeah, it's a great thing to do for sure.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Do it. Get twins. I can teach you how to do it.
I'm sure you can get them ordered these days.
Exactly. Yeah, mate. But it's I really hope that everything sorts itself out, because I would want to go to the muscle show again and see what's happening.
We're pretty positive about it, and planning as if it's going to go ahead. So,
mate, your phone must be a fitness head's dream.
For what?
All the numbers you must have of all of these.
Yeah, I try not to bother them too much.
Celebrities, but still, I mean, can you imagine someone who's into fitness found your phone and started going through the
prank calling?
Yeah, just like having everyone's number. That would be a dream to them.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It must be cool now, because after that, I mean, you must have shifted completely in contexts and.
Yeah, I mean, when I first met some of the guys, obviously I was a fan first and foremost, and it was like nerve-wracking when I first met them. But yeah, they've all been like really cool and supportive. So
do you speak to a lot of them outside of the?
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine some of those guys that their mobiles are also like inundated. So yeah, I try not to, unless it's kind of related to the event. I might wish them a happy birthday or whatever. But yeah,
that's nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, my phone's got your number, so it kind of goes through. It's like a link, right?
Who's the most famous person in your phone? You must have some.
I'll have to bring up.
That could be a cool feature,
right? Who's the most famous person on your phone? Yeah, we might do that on the next one.
There you go.
I'd have to have a look. I think you are
happy to take that. Yeah,
you take that.
Correct.
Yeah, you're like, right. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. What else do you wanna push? Oh, Instagram at Dubai Muscle Show.
Yeah, and then we've got at Dubai Active Show as well for the more general fitnessy one.
I'll put those in the links. Anything else that you want to push while we're here?
That's it really. Just keen to help you with this, and good having a chat. Yeah.
And now you can go home and just think about death.
I know. Yeah, lovely.
Right?
Thanks for that, mate.
That's my gift to you.
Many thanks. Shukran.
Have fun. So So this will be the end of episode 3, and we'll do a little giveaway for these guys, and that's very nice of you to do for them.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll put that up there on how you win, and everything will be in the link. I'll put a little post on there, and that is our show. Thanks for coming.
Thanks a lot, mate. Yeah, stay safe.
Stay safe. Stay clean.
Thanks, guys.
Wicked.